You know, when people think about an offer, what is it that you find that people think wrong about an offer? Like when people are like, oh, I got to make an offer. What do you think it is that they're like missing totally when they go to put that offer out?
I think that people try to solve problems by mimic strategies, which is one problem I think is bad. I'm a big fan of like first principle thinking. But mimic strategy being like, well, I'm in a web builder, I build websites or I build funnels, we'll just go there. That's something a lot of people understand. I build funnels, so my offer has to be similar to them, but I'm going to price it differently, or I don't know.
Mm.
It's kind of like they just mimic, and I think
Oh,
that,
I got you.
yeah, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. You know, I don't hear so much about, funnel hacking stuff anymore,
Yeah,
thankfully,
that's
but
that's actually been down a little bit, huh?
yeah, but it doesn't mean that they're not doing it. Just people are like, "Oh, I can't talk about it." It's frowned upon, but they're still doing it. I mean, everyone's just kind of, looking at stuff and figuring out how to repeat that and then put their stuff into it. Um, and I get it. Things work for other people, but the problem is it worked for them. It worked for them in the phase of business they're in, the type of personality they are, the type of warm or cold audience that they have, the way they deliver it, the way they can convert on. It's them. There's a personal thumbprint on that makes that work for them. So,
Mm.
first principle, I think a lot of what we do in our offer development when we help people is kind of first principle thinking of saying, listen, let's look at what that real issue is and break down the components of it and then figure out a different way to deliver those components. And most of the time, the problem that person is trying to solve can be solved maybe with 1, 2, 3 possible steps, and that's it. And offer everyone, that offer you're trying to mimic has about 14,
Hmm.
and it's unnecessary. And if that's not going to work for you, that's going to add, it's going to add more risk to your business. Because now you're dealing with 14 things instead of 3. It's going to add more time. It's going to add more headache. That's going to take away from the other stuff. What's the payment of energy? What's the payment of family expense that goes in to manage those 14 versus 3? So it's really kind of understanding exactly what is going to be the way to solve that problem as fast as it can that works for you and the business you're trying to run, and going at it that way. And it's basically, again, it's saying like, how are you going to show up? And it doesn't matter what they're doing. How are you going to show up and solve a problem that makes sense for you? And also makes sense for your market, makes sense for the people. But so I think a lot of people are getting that wrong, and that they're going and mimic. I think that, you know, I don't know. I think that people are leading with price first,